Hey guys, what's going on? I'm just going to be reacting to the Adrestia Empire trailer for Fire Emblem Free Hopes, and yeah, we're just going over the character designs, the things that you may have missed. I'll be reacting to the Blue Lions one after this, since I was not making content at the time it came out, but I think that I should go over it just to point out some things that I noticed that other people might not have. So, first of all, we've already seen Edelgard's design. My personal opinion is I prefer this over the original time skip design. Well, I guess it's still the time skip design because this is like going to be the blank period from what we know. But I really like this design choice for Edelgard, especially like the hair tie things. I find those like really interesting. I particularly like that on her. Also the design of the armor just looks nicer in my opinion. So we've seen a majority of like what her attacks and stuff look like with the fire element on it, as you would expect from Edelgard. Here you can see that she's actually fighting Alliance for brawlers, which is like obviously implying that you're going to be fighting the Alliance in Edelgard's route. I'm assuming that you'd be fighting them to get the Bridge of Murden or to attack Deirdre. I'm guessing that this is like a fort or keep in the background that you need to capture, or go in to fight a boss to capture. That'd be my best guess. I can't exactly tell where we are based off the background because, well, Free Houses doesn't have that detail to the map, but I'm guessing that that's your objective, and these are all Alliance troops. So it's basically already been confirmed that we're fighting the Alliance, but that's what's happening here. We've already seen Hubert. We saw him a fair bit. We see just a thing to point out. This pot is most likely going to have some kind of item in it, whether that be like recovery items or like money, stuff like that. I'm not too sure. I haven't played the original Warriors game in ages, so maybe that's from the original Warriors game. Maybe it's a new thing they added. But it looks like it's going to be holding items just because it sticks out that much. Here you find Hubert fighting the Alliance troops. They just seem like the classic Myrmidon class, so they're all holding swords, which leads me to believe that. Most likely, this looks like Deirdre a lot, if you ask me. So this reminds me of Deirdre or the Great Bridge of Murden, would be my best guess for what's happening here. But once again, we've already seen Hubert's Snoller to point out. I have like no real opinion on this new design for him. Looks like he works at Hot Topic, although he already did look like that, so not much difference. Here we have Dorothea, just a nice little thing. You can see her book and it will fly around behind her here and out of sight. You see a Kingdom fighter in the background here. We'll get to see a bit more of those later. But Dorothea has the interesting aspect like Annette where she has the music notes in her attacks. If I can just go back a bit. Here we go. So she has the music notes. You can see her book here again. So obviously her book's going to be like floating around her during the entire battle. From, I'm guessing, wherever she does an attack. But she has the music notes like Annette because she's a songstress. So it makes me believe that like Dorothea and Annette are going to play similar. And they're just going to kind of be like each other. Just like slightly different visuals, slightly different moves maybe here and there. But all retextured to reflect her spell list, because here you can see she's using Media, which is a spell that she gets, but Annette doesn't. So maybe some moves will be slightly different, and maybe like special moves will be a thing, and this is like Dorothea's special attack, because it's like her strongest spell, I guess, or the last spell that she gets in her spell list, and all these enemies are like sucked into the area to group together, I guess. So it could be her special. And I'm guessing all the specials will be somewhat unique. Because if you just go off of like that, looks like a special. But all the heroes, I don't know what they were called in the original game. So once again, another one of those pots in the background there. I think it's a slightly different color, probably to fit the theme of this map a bit better. So Bernadetta's new design is another one that I I like this in particular compared to her other designs. It looks like a fit between the original time, like the original monastery design and the time skip. As you can see, the outfit that she is wearing is pretty much her time skip outfit. I'm pretty sure it is just her time skip outfit, which would make sense given the context of her. Oh, I think her skirt's actually frilly here, and it's not in the... Yeah, okay, so the skirt's slightly different. You can see that it's like not just like a straight suit, it's got like frills and stuff. Anyway, but apart from that, just a generic steel bow that she's holding. Yeah, nothing else I can particularly point out. I do like her hairstyle though. I do like what she's done with her hair here. I've heard a lot of people say they don't like it. I particularly like it. It just feels like a natural fit for her. Another thing that I realized is some of her moves do look reminiscent of what we saw of Ash in the Blue Lines trailer, which makes me think they're both obviously archers, so they're probably going to have similar move sets. But the other thing that's particularly interesting in this scene is this one brigand here, surrounded by all these like kingdom fighters. So I'm guessing he's going to be like a boss of this. This is a keep area or a fort area, whatever you want to call it. Maybe I'm getting like my terminology between Hyrule Warrior Legends and Free Houses, Fire Emblem Warriors or something. I don't know. Been a while since I played since I played Warriors. But he's probably going to be like the boss unit of the keep or something, and you got to like do like a mini kind of mini boss fight against him to like take him out, and then you like capture the fort for your units. I'm guessing that's what it's like, because he's like the only brigand that we've seen or we've ever seen are like myrmidons and fighters and soldiers so far, so that makes sense that that's what he is. But yeah, like here is like kind of where it seems a bit similar to Ash. So just like that little segment, and then this looks like her special because giant rain of like arrows, and she's like curled up in the fetal position. I'm guessing she's not controllable here, and all the enemies here are just being hit by this. So that's going to be like her special attack, whatever you want to call it. Here we have Ferdinand von Eyre. I probably shouldn't play. But he looks like he's going to play similar to Sylvain. He just looks like generic, like horse unit. His special also kind of reminded me of Sylvain's, which is seemingly right here. Yeah. Where he like does that. So somewhat similar to Sylvain. But once again, fighting Alliance troops. Now we're talking, this looks more like the Great Bridge of Murden or something. I'm assuming that's what it is. I can't think of any other key locations in the Alliance besides the Great Bridge of Murden and the Great Bridge of Murden, Fodlan's Throat, and Deirdre. So if I had to have a guess, like near the Great Bridge of Murden. Apart from that, I don't particularly like Ferdinand von Eyre's design. Just something like the hair's like halfway between being long and short, which kind of throws me off. Just doesn't look right to me. And the clothing that he's wearing isn't as detailed as his original time skip design, so I just don't particularly care for it. Caspar, I thought this was like a weird problem with the animation, and I thought he had like two sets of arms for some reason, but I didn't realize those are gauntlets. And I know that because they never disappear no matter how many frames you move. And if you cut slightly ahead here, then they move with his body. Because I found the one here very weird until I realized, no, it's following his body. Although right now he has like 3. He has one there, one there, one there. I think that might just be because I'm going frame by frame. Oh no, he's got one there, I think. So I think he's got like 3 for some reason. Does he have 3 earlier? No, I think it's just an animation thing, and that one's meant to be that one in motion. Anyway, but Caspar's like, axe, brawling, it seems. Everyone seems to have like a secondary weapon of sorts. Like, Ferdinand has a sword in one of these scenes, if I can get you it. It's right there. Bernadetta seems to not, but I'd imagine she'd have a sword or a knife or something. And I say knife because later in this trailer, Petra will have a knife. So, but I'm guessing she has a sword or a boot knife. She'll probably have a boot knife. I have no idea. Mages probably don't have a secondary one. They probably just use both kind of magics, and that's like your alternate thing. Same thing with like, I don't know. She doesn't have a sword. I guess the shield might count. I don't know, but seemingly most units will have like a secondary weapon. Not that it really matters. Every unit can go into different classes. Once again, more Alliance generic units. There's two. I don't know if that's two or one, and it's just one. And I was just looking weird. So there's a mercenary here instead of like the generic fighter units. So it's probably like in a keep or a fort once again, and that's like the boss unit that he's got to take down in order to capture it for his side. It just looks like it because of the wall that you can see kind of running along there. And there's also another one of those jars there if you want to keep pointing those out. But he just seems like, generic axe unit, spins and shit. Seems like he does strong heavy attacks, another jar there. Don't know if he gets a better texture. Nope, just kind of swaps over here to where he like breaks the ground. And yeah. Oh, and then there's another jar there. But yeah, so it just kind of seems like. Oh, does he have an axe here? No, so I'm guessing he's punching these guys. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm guessing that he's punching. That's what it implies here. So yeah, I guess you can swap between like axes and punching like mid-battle, which would be an interesting concept. So here's Petra. She has the sword backhanded like the assassin, and then she also has a knife, which is why I said I'm imagining like daggers and stuff will be like a secondary weapon that you can use. I don't know if they'll be throwable. I think it'll just function like a second sword, but the blade shorter. There's another one of those pots here. Her new design, I actually really like the headdress thing. I don't know what you call that, but I find that really interesting. I have a cultural thing as well as like the braid kind of thing. I'm probably butchering what all these are called. Roast me in the comments. But no, I really like this design for her. It looks really interesting. It really suits her. It adds more like lore, I guess, to Bridget, or more cultural aspects to Bridget. So I'm all for that. It really interests me, quite like her time skip design, and the headdress is like extra flair. So I really like her new design here. So that's like, I really like that one. That's one that it's probably my favorite so far. Pardon me, it's like 2 a.m. when I'm recording this. So here, she does some fast attacks as you would expect from like an assassin character. That's what it seems like they're going for. She's like a fast sword character with some swift like movement. That's a bit weird. So this fighter here. He's just like standing there like nothing happens. And then he gets like knocked over. Like he doesn't like initially take the knockback and then he's just like, oh, don't hurt me, and falls over. More fighters, and then there's this guy who I can't even tell. He looks, I guess, warrior. I know what he's meant to be. He's not a brigand. Is he just wearing a helmet? He looks different to everybody else here. Yeah, because he's got like this extra leather trim and like he's got like a helmet or something. But then he's like got the same static pose as like all these other guys. Just look at the extra blue there. Maybe he is a warrior or something. I'm just crazy. Brigand. This doesn't look like a fort. Maybe I'm wrong and the brigands don't mean anything and they're just like one random differently placed like commander of this squad unit. There's also another barrel plot thing there. So maybe they're just like scattered amongst the ranks as like commanders and they don't really care and I'm just using commander liberally like, hey, this is just like an interesting unit. Next up, Linhart. He's wearing a lot of blue, could be mistaken for a kingdom unit. Hopefully he doesn't get killed by his own comrades for wearing blue. That would be disastrous. Pardon me. I'm fine with his design. His design's interesting. I think the blue suits him a lot better. And you know, using faith magic, it seems. Just the bright yellow, golden light gives me that feel. Yeah, because there's another one of those different out of place units that doesn't seem like a boss, but could be. I don't know. It doesn't look like they're doing anything to warrant being a boss. They just look like a different unit, I guess. This looks like the Great Bridge of Burden. Almost certainly is, or it could be Deirdre again, I guess. I'm going crazy. It's always going to be Deirdre at the Great Bridge of Burden, I'm going to say. So, just going through some casual units, just sending some, like, balls of light, it seems, at these innocent brawlers that did nothing to deserve this. As he holds his hand behind his back, grabbing onto what seems to be a strap connected to his book. A pen, it looks like, maybe. Maybe it's a pen. Yeah, okay, I'm almost certain that's like the entrance to the Great Bridge of Merton. That makes sense, right? So there's like him working his way through and it's just like you playing different characters on the same map. Which would be about right. And just here, this looks like his ultimate move thing. You can see his crest of Cephalene in all these little magic circles, which I think is pretty interesting. Maybe it's just random ruins, because maybe I don't know. But his crest being within all of these is interesting. This is like his super final, I'm going to end this move. And then yeah, we just cut to like the box art. So yeah, those are the stuff that I noticed. Anything else you noticed, then leave it in the comments. I didn't notice anything else particular that should be pointed out. Yeah, there'll probably be better videos that are made by better creators and higher quality than this, but hey.